Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Monday marked the deadline for North Dakota school students to get vaccinated.
This week in Fargo and West Fargo, 60 students were told they could not come to class because they were not up to date on their shots. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz explains the requirements.
Ashley T. has 2 young kids in a private Fargo preschool. They both have the required vaccines for enrollment. But Ashley says she still worries when others don't.
So often people saying, well, if you're pro-vaccination, you shouldn't have a problem because your kids have vaccines. That's not always the case. I'm very pro-vaccine, but I have an 8-month-old child who can't have the MMR vaccine yet. He's not old enough.
And that's why North Dakota law mandates all students get vaccinated. According to Century Code 330605, children must receive immunizations required by the Department of Health in order to be admitted into school. The law sets a deadline of October 1st. Fargo Public School Superintendent Rupak Gandhi says they gave plenty of notice before the cutoff date.
We had taken multiple efforts to communicate with parents beforehand and let them know that if they don't have their vaccine by October 1st and starting October 2nd, per state statute, that they wouldn't be included.
Nancy Leith oversees school nurses in Cass County. She says within this area, vaccine days are no longer offered in school. But
we do immunizations here at Public Health, and we did increase the days that we offered immunizations, primarily in the month of August, and the first part of September to help accommodate the increased demand.
Still, not everyone made it by deadline. Between Fargo and West Fargo schools, a total of 60 kids were asked not to come in until they got their vaccinations. The school says most parents don't do this intentionally. In fact, even though 18 students in Fargo had missed school in the beginning of October, I'm told that just a couple days later, only 4 still have yet to be immunized. And in West Fargo, 48 students were out on October 1st. Now, the schools tell me, every single one of them is back in school. Now, North Dakota law does allow some exemptions.
Some kids just cannot have a vaccine, and I respect that.
But for those not included in those groups, Nurse Nancy Leith says it's important not to add to the number of unvaccinated.
If 95% of that community is vaccinated, they are protecting the complete herd. So it's just to everyone's advantage to have more people immunized.
In Fargo, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
We also reached out to the Moorhead School District to find out how they handle students without vaccination records. We're told Minnesota state law is different and doesn't have a specific date for when vaccines are due, but it still does require them for enrollment. The school tells us that their nursing staff follows up with families who still need to send records or exemption forms, but doesn't exclude them from coming in.
We are keeping an eye toward the sky with more talk of snow. Robert is here with the latest on when, where, and how much. Robert?
Yeah, it is that time of year already. Going to be a wintry scene for many of us, especially in northeastern North Dakota down towards the James River Basin. And here in Fargo, I think we see a rain-snow mix, but I think the accumulating snow stays just off to our west and north. 44 right now in Fargo, but 33 and snowing now in Jamestown. Winds generally light, particularly light compared to yesterday's gusty winds. A lot of cloud cover. Underneath those clouds, there is the rain and the snow. The leading edge of this, a lot of this not reaching the ground, but it is reaching the ground off towards the west and the southwest. And where we have the best chance for accumulations, winter weather advisory in effect, 2 to 4 inches of snow possible in these areas. Some slick conditions as we head through tonight and into tomorrow. How long does this stick around on your Friday, and how's the weekend looking? We'll let you know coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Robert.
Big announcement this afternoon from U.S. Senator Heidi Heitkamp, considered by many as a swing vote in the Brett Kavanaugh Supreme Court confirmation. She says that she will vote no. Heitkamp says she believes Dr. Christine Blasey Ford's allegation that Kavanaugh sexually assaulted her back in high school. Heitkamp also says that with her legal background, it's important to look at what happens when a victim comes forward.
One of the most important things you can do for victims, even if as a prosecutor you can't prosecute the crime, is if you believe them, to say you believe them. And I believed her. And, you know, it doesn't mean that I didn't believe him, but I believed her that it happened.
Heitkamp says during the latest hearing, she questioned Kavanaugh's temperament and impartiality when ended up playing a role in her final decision.
Authorities in Otter Tail County need your help finding a man who they say harassed a woman and her 5-year-old son at Inspiration Peak, Minnesota. Yesterday evening, the 25-year-old woman reported that after she refused to take a photo for a man, he grabbed her by the wrist, but she managed to break away with her child. The man is described as about 5'10" with a medium build and about 30 to 40 years old. He was driving a dark blue Chevy Malibu with a model year from the early 2000s. Anyone with information can call the Otter Tail County Dispatch Center at that phone number on your screen.
The general manager at Gateway Hyundai in Fargo says he's seen an increase in car thefts and property damage within the past few months. The damage includes windows being broken out, wheels and taillights being taken. 8 vehicles were stolen from their property in the past 60 days. Some of those vehicles have been recovered. We're told that steps have been taken to prevent this from happening again.
A mother and her 2 children are dead after they crashed into a truck and were thrown from the vehicle. It happened yesterday afternoon north of Thief River Falls. Police believe that the mother and kids were buckled and secured in their car seats, but the impact of the crash may have broken the seat belts. The driver of the pickup was not hurt. The victims' names have not been released yet.
Not everyone received the presidential text yesterday. FEMA says the reason is because some people might not have had their phones on or being in range of the cell tower. FEMA is encouraging people who didn't receive the message to let them know by emailing FEMA-national-test@fema.dhs.gov. In that email, FEMA recommends you to provide information on what your wireless provider is, what device you use, if others near you got the alert, and if you were using your device when the alert was sent out. FEMA expected the alert to reach 225 million people.
President Trump has arrived in Rochester for his second trip to Minnesota. He'll speak at a campaign-style rally at the Mayo Civic Center in Rochester. The rally will start at 6:30 this evening, and city leaders have been told to expect thousands of people at that event.
A Fargo woman was awarded the AARP Andrus Award for her community service efforts. Vel Burkholder has served 6 years on the North Dakota AARP Executive Council, but is being recognized for helping fight fraud. Burkholder teaches community members on information about fraud and scams throughout the area.
The people that have been frauded and scammed for hundreds of thousands of dollars, you feel you want to reach out to all of them so that they don't go in for something like that.
AARP North Dakota says Burkholder was awarded because of her work's quality, consistency, and its depth.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, reaction to the new Gender X licenses in Minnesota.
Good food usually leads to a good crowd. Up next, why so many turned out on this chilly day for a chili feed.
You're watching Valley News Live on TV, online, and on the go. Always on, wherever you are, whenever you need to know. Valley News Live. You're watching Valley News Live on KVLY, your hometown NBC station.
Conlon's is celebrating their 81st anniversary with amazing deals on all the furniture you want. Everything's on sale store-wide. Plus, ask about available 60-month special financing. Don't miss Conlon's huge 81st anniversary celebration going on now.
In her TV ads, Heidi Heitkamp says she'll work with anyone. But it's not true. I'm a volunteer with the North Dakota chapter of Concerned Women for America. We work to end human trafficking, and we're pro-life. We've asked to meet with Senator Heitkamp over and over. There are some issues where we agree, but we're not welcome in her office. Heidi Heitkamp is so radical on abortion that it controls all of her service. Heidi just doesn't vote like North Dakota.
NRSC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
My life has completely turned around after visiting the Center for Pain Medicine. I visited other healthcare providers, but wasn't able to get the relief I needed with my migraines in my neck and back from a whiplash injury from a car accident. I was really struggling with severe neck and back pain, and it was making work really difficult and also being a mom difficult. The Center for Pain Medicine made a huge difference. With the treatments I've been receiving, I've been able to manage my pain, get back to work, and be a happy mom and live life.
In North Dakota, we were raised to tell the truth. So it was sad to see our tax commissioner lying to police when he was arrested for drunk driving. But here's another lie: your property taxes. You were promised relief, and instead, your taxes went up. I'm Kylie Overson, and as tax commissioner, I'll protect your hard-earned money and run an honest office where taxpayers aren't taken advantage of. My opponent is sure to run ads lying about me, just like he lied to police. But I'm going to stick to telling the truth and protecting your tax dollars.
Conlon's is celebrating their 81st anniversary with amazing deals on all the furniture you want. Everything's on sale store-wide. Plus, ask about available 60-month special financing. Don't miss Conlon's huge 81st anniversary celebration going on now.
Beautiful, energy efficient, and easy cleaning replacement windows. Windows Plus.
This just in, we're hearing that 16-year-old Morgan Cooley has been located. It happened late this afternoon, Cooley turning himself in to the Moorhead Police Department, where he is currently under the protective custody of the Clay County Social Services Department. At this time, all of the Cooley children are accounted for. Moorhead Police would like to thank the community and media for their assistance in attempting to locate Cooley. The annual chili feed during lunch today kicked off homecoming week at MSUM. It's a popular event. Students again lining up to get the first taste. The school's academic deans and the athletic director competed for the honor of who made the best chili. Now, chili aside, there are a number of other community-wide events in the coming days. The annual homecoming parade is set for tomorrow afternoon at 4:30, and a free block party at the Nemzik practice field follows until 8 tomorrow night. Of course, the homecoming game is Saturday. The Dragons taking on Mankato. The football game begins at 2.
A third gender option is now available for Minnesotans applying for driver's licenses. In addition to M and F, applicants can now check the box X if they do not want to identify as male or female. One woman tells us she's unsure where a non-binary identifier would be placed if they were booked into jail, but police say they would probably be put by themselves for everyone's safety. Police also say one of their biggest concerns is having a same-sex officer frisk an individual, which complicates things when it comes to non-binary individuals.
That is just an area where we hope that we can find a law enforcement officer who's professional enough to set aside any preconceived notions so that they can frisk an individual safely and respectfully.
Officials say there's no paperwork needed if you want to check the X box on your new license. The change makes Minnesota the 6th state to offer a non-binary gender option.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, what's going to start here in Fargo shortly to raise awareness to slavery and human trafficking.
Rain continues to push its way on off towards the northeast, off towards the west. Some snow as well. Some of that snow will be locally heavy for a time. As we head through this evening, how much snow to expect and how long does it stick around, we'll let you know right after this.